It's, I guess I might be being a Subaru owner. I'm having to test head gasket. Went and I was having pump problems for a while, and as you know from other videos, I managed to break both hands, so I hadn't been able to do anything with that. And this car hurts me so bad to drive, I've been trying to sell it. Well, I went to meet someone well off that was going to buy it, and got there. Nope, no real problem. Not anything out of the normal where the pump would start leaking and you'd have to stop and let it cool and fill the fluid back up and go. Well, got there, person didn't show, came back. This was through, I should point out, this was through curvy mountainous roads, as well as some interstate travel. And on the way back, it developed some new issues. And by the time I was a couple miles from home, it went over a pair of railroad tracks and it just overheated in a hurry. Shut it down, let it cool, topped it off, turned it back on after it cooled, and it was running hot almost instantly. So I had to get home by turning the engine on, getting up to speed, then turning the engine off and coasting till I couldn't coast anymore, then restarting the engine, getting back up to speed. So that was fun, but it got me the last mile and a half, 2 miles home without overheating the engine. But how it was acting, how it's reacting, I think I blew a head gasket when the water pump finally gave up.
Yeah.
So we're doing the head gasket test. The kit, this is one that you're supposed to be able to hook to the engine vacuum if you have a good spot. There's not a good spot really, so I'm using my vacuum for my brake. This thing's been useful in doing all kinds of stuff.
That's the one we got from Harbor Freight, by the
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yep, and it's been extremely useful.
And I'll put the review video up here somewhere,
And this
probably.
shirt's been a work shirt for a grand total of an hour, and I've already got grease stains on it. But, whatever. It became a work shirt because it had blood stains on it.
Now, if you remember, this is the vehicle we had purchased that had the floppy shifter. We originally bought this because Karl always wanted a Subaru.
I actually wanted this model other than the two-door. I wanted a two-door one. But it's, one of those things, it's meeting your hero. Sometimes you're better off not. So,
yeah.
I don't know. The biggest problem I have is the sitting position, and this seat design kills me. Absolutely kills me. I've had to take the headrest off. It still doesn't sit back. After about 10 minutes sitting in here, my back is killing me. After about half an hour, I'm crippled. So, yeah. For me to keep this car, this entire interior would have to come out. And I'd have to put new seats in. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'll just sit in the back seat. I don't know. Let's start her up. And
Oh, that geyser.
so I can get that thing out. That's interesting.
That geyser. I was not prepared for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and now I got to find the thingy. Of course, it's sitting down there. How am I going to get you out? I got to go get a stick.
Don't think. Nope, I can't even fit my hands down there. I honestly think we just got our answer.
That was the new and interesting effect that happened. And that's a telltale you've blown a head gasket.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Yes. This just started and you watch it explode again. Signs that make me think it needs a new head gasket.
Houston, we have a problem. Oh! We got a coolant bath.
That's pretty well guaranteed to be a failed head gasket, but I'm doing the test just because, to make sure. There's always a chance the pump's sucking air that bad. That's wishful thinking.
It is, yes. If the pump's sucking air that bad, buy a lottery ticket like now. I mean right now. Don't wait. You pause video and race and buy one. Because you're the luckiest man alive. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so what you missed while we were messing with changing cameras over, this thing's already built enough pressure that it popped this thing out. So, and it's only been running for a couple minutes, not even temperature yet. So yeah, this is big evidence on most likely it's blown a seal. We are warm already, which is not good either. So, not real good sign either that it's already hot. So,
in general, the way this one works, you use your hand pump, vacuum pump, or the car vacuum, fill it to the line, blue turns yellow if head gasket is gone.
Okay, this is not a good reading because it's sucking coolant, even though the coolant was run down. So, I bet you it's sucking it from the reservoir. I may have to restart and do this again.
I think you may have to restart and do that again.
Because,
yeah, you got way too much coolant in that now.
well, the coolant was drained down. How is the coolant filling up? I bet you it's going to erupt again. And this is where the coolant drained down. This thing's doing all kinds of interesting stuff. Not approved use for this thing, but the coolant keeps rising. I've opened the overflow, hoping that'll stop it. I think it's drawing fluid in from the overflow. And I'm just going to use this to pull coolant out.
I mean, technically, you're using it as designed. Maybe not as intended. I think your thermostat just opened up.
Yep. Magically producing coolant from who knows where. I'm going to pull that out so it's up there. Come on. I'm worried it's sucking into the line.
Huh.
I haven't used this pump. I've been very happy with it. Would recommend, definitely would recommend. Yep, that's what it was doing. It was sucking all the coolant out of the reservoir. Which means I've got to do something with this reservoir line to clog it.
That's probably good enough. Just get it out in the air.
There we go. He keeps finding more coolant somehow. To perform this test, I'm going to have this system completely out of coolant.
And I think you really will just pop a head gasket just because it has no coolant.
It's not running hot, not yet anyways. Oh, the overflow is going now. It's actually overflowing into the overflow. This is not how this is supposed to work.
Oh, good Lord.
And I bet you we are hot. That's hot. Really not yet. Are we done? Have we evacuated our bowels yet?
I don't think you need vacuum for this. It's got enough back pressure to do it on its own.
Yeah. You're supposed to do a fluid test. I don't think I need the fluid test.
No, I don't think you need the fluid test.
One that's this bad, I think I'm going to cut it off, let it cool off, and try to get cold. Alright, well, let's cool it for a little bit and see if we get a geyser again, if I can do a test.
Please subscribe and ring the bell if you enjoy this content.
And if you want a slightly used Subaru, please ask. And I've got a little bit of time to do the test. So, son of a... I forgot I had the air conditioner on and it just kicked on.
Yeah.
They're cooling again. I may not be able to use vacuum on this. Every time I use vacuum, it starts cooling out of, I think, out of the reservoir. And this opening is too small to seal that off. So let's just see if I can get it to give it a little pressure to seal and then just hold it. Just giving it the very little bit of pressure I can give it. I'm not giving it any pressure now. This is just from the engine.
It looks like one of those science things from the 80s when you do Mad Scientists.
Okay, you might want to back away. I'm going to pull this off. Now the exhaust fumes coming from the radiator, no indication. They ain't got even an operating temp yet.
Hey Tavares, you want to trade?
Let's try this. Let's try this. Why not?
Yeah. I think you'd be like, what are these couple of idiots from the Midwest trying to trade me for a blown head gasket Subaru for? Whoa!
Now, this time, that's right. See how it turned yellow almost instantly? And it's boiling hot?
Yeah, turn it off. Turn it off. We got our test.
So, yes, it has a failed head gasket.
Just slightly.
Nowhere else on YouTube have you probably seen someone fight with a blown head gasket that much to get a blown head gasket test to work.
Slightly blown.
On the plus side, I'm not getting any error code from this side of the engine, so it's probably just that side of the engine. So you can fix that one, then blow this one.
That's how that works.
So I got a Subaru, and it did what everyone talks about Subarus doing. It blew a head gasket.
We're still trying to determine what we're going to do. By we, I mean he. I've already told him. Brick, accelerator, cliff, walk away. We ask no questions.
We're in the Midwest. Well, no, we've got cliffs. It's going to be a little hard, though.
I was about to say...
If it didn't kill me to drive, I would be pulling this engine and looking at doing an electric conversion on it. Because the drivetrain for this would be fun with electric. It's all-wheel drive, it's a manual. You just stick a gear to the flywheel and put the wiring in. But, you know, if you're interested in doing that, contact me. This would be a good candidate. Be a very good candidate.
Honestly, replacing the head gasket on this might not be too difficult because it is this side. And
no, I still got to pull the engine. I got looking and looking. And I have to get to something in the back of that I don't think I can get. I see I've got to take all this off. And yeah, you theory should be able to, but you still have to lift the engine because it won't clear the fender. So
that's why he repairs the cars, and I'll hold the camera angles.
And something I would love to do with this car, once again, it would require me being willing to redo the interior so I can sit in it. Although I could use the interior from the same vehicle. And that's finding a totaled Outback or one of the others with the H6 engine with a 6-cylinder flat and pulling it out and putting it in here.
Copart, not a sponsor. We can look on Copart, probably get one for $1,000.
It's going to be a tight squeeze, but I think you could do it. You might have to modify. The radiator might have to move outside of that. So this bumper might have to come off to do it. But get one that's been T-boned, then I have the front end for the Outback too. So, but yeah, move that, get it, shove that 6-cylinder in here after I've overhauled it, or it's been overhauled. And have an H6 Impreza with the manual. The thing is, they never made it with the manual, at least not in the US, and I have not been able to find anything for sure that you'll be able to make it made up with that manual. So, the manual's strong enough to take it, but I don't know if I can make it.
Push comes shove, you'll have to throw the automatic in there if we do it that way.
Selling point of this car, though, the AC works.
Ice cold AC. And it comes with the free geyser.
Mm-hmm. It has a water feature.
Yes. Most people, they pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have a nice, beautiful water geyser in their front lawn. They could just take this car, park it there, turn it on, and you got a geyser.
Put some more water in it so I can move it a few times, and distilled water. I'm still taking care of it, even though the engine's probably absolute trash. It's got a new thermostat, a new radiator. I'm tempted to pour that stuff back in there, but I have no idea what that would do to it, so I'm not going to.
I was going to say, please don't.
But there should be more than enough coolant in there to take care of it, even with what's pulled out, because that was about that. And with the additional overflow, is whatever. It's got enough that I can move it across my yard or around the block and it not overheat.
And that's all we really needed to do at this point, because it sure ain't going anywhere.
But, yeah. And on top of that, I checked the oil. No milkshake in the oil. It doesn't have coolant in the oil. It may have gas in the oil, but no coolant. And it's burning oil, so it's just making a proper mix. It's becoming a two-cycle. And everyone knows two-cycle engines run forever. You know,
not when they started out as 4-cycle.
You know, maybe I can get some Lotta badges and mark and sell this as a Lotta.
Dude, you couldn't sell this as a Yugo.
Oh, but yeah, everything works but the cooling system. So that's it for this one, and verified that I have suffered the fate of many a Subaru enthusiast with a blown head gasket.
Please subscribe if you want to see more on this one. It's going to be a while before you get to see this one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If we do, especially if we do the whole Outback thing, which...
regardless what I do with this, other than sell it, it's going to be a long time, because I don't have the equipment, I don't have the money, I can't work on this thing in the ground, so I'm going to have a lift. So, yeah. It's either going to be sitting on my property with just short drives every now and then for a long time, or it's going to be sold to somebody that, or traded to somebody that wants a good base for a Subaru build. Because the only issues, I fixed the rust in the trunk, and the only other spot was there's two little spots down here in the panels that could be easily fixed. Either side. Watch out for the stick. And then over here is the worst. And it's actually, you see where they dented this one. It doesn't have a rust spot, it just has a dent. And then a little bit there where it's just bubble rust and it's not even all the way through.
Yeah, those could just be sanded down and repainted.
Sanded and cleaned.
Sand it down and repaint it, that's fine.
It's at the point where all it needs is a little bit of sandpaper and paint, and a little bit more, a little bit of this, that, and the other, and you'd have a great road car, great street car. But that was what my plan was with it. I even got the trunk to mostly quit leaking. It still needs a new gasket, but it's not leaking here. The only place it got wet was where it ran in at the bottom of this gasket, because it's jumping the gaskets that's coming down and running water down in here. But it's so little that it barely made a difference. We had a lot of rain. I mean, we're flooded out everywhere, so it's been pouring rain for a week.
I saw Noah floating by on his ark.
He lost a camel. But, yeah, I've solved the leak problem there. It could use new gaskets, but on normal rains, it's not getting water in it. And with this, it didn't get enough water in to do anything but dampen it a little bit, which was incredible compared to what it used to, because before the seal repair here, those rains, I would have been pumping water out of the spare tire well, and it's dry. It's completely dry.
Yeah, all of this would have been soaked. All of this
No water in it whatsoever.
Soaked. Yeah, as you can see, dry as a bone.
Yep. So the fix worked. It just still needs a gasket, but it's not so bad that it's an immediate thing, and probably wouldn't be an issue on normal rain. So that is. Okay, I don't know what that cancels. That cancels something. Maybe, oh, I bet you that disables the latch for valet mode.
It could, yeah. All right. Well,
you even get a bonus new device. Cancel your automatic lock with that one, so you can't open the trunk from the inside.
Yeah. I just had to play with it.
All right. Well, until next time, and please subscribe because, yeah, I need a bigger budget. Because I keep getting things I think are going to be small budget projects, and they end up being not small budget projects. And with the Riata, I'm still back and forth. We're going to pull it up so we can track down wiring issues. I'm afraid we're going to get into it, and it's going to be a wiring harness. So I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it should just be a couple of bad grounds and some miswiring of ignition system.
Well, when you have the number 1 plug labeled as 6 and running to number 5 labeled as 6 on the engine, even I know that's a bad thing.
Yeah. It's there's issues. So it may be a matter of just straightening stuff up and finding what's corroded or what's come disconnected and fixing that, or fixing a broken line, but we got to get up under it. And that's, once again, another one of those fun ones is it requires getting underneath it, and it's a low car.
Yes.
So,
all right.
But until next time, it's Crazy Karl with another crazy project. Have a good one. So long.